My name is Sean Rigney. I'm a volunteer here down in Laceiba, Honduras from the dates December 14th through December 29th. I volunteered at La Clínica de Atlantida and the Hospital Regional de Atlantida. While here are my abroad review coordinator, Rafael, and his family. It was beyond amazing. At first I was nervous coming to a new country, really meeting someone totally random. You can never know about people nowadays, but however the hospitality provided was second best to none. Rafael and his family are truly amazing, and their passion in what they do cannot be described. No matter what question we might have or what favor we needed, we would always be met with the answer yes, never a no. And even if it was something totally random or really hard, we'd always find out a way to make it happen, especially through Rafael. About the program, the most surprising thing that I experienced was the love and acceptance of medical care down here. Back in the States, people are really neglectful and hesitant about medical care. However, seeing a doctor or a nurse down here, people become so happy. Their faces light up, and their cultural perspective down here is totally different. And with this program, it gave me the opportunity to come down here and offer my expertise in the medical care, and just seeing how acceptful the people were is truly amazing. The accommodation, like I said, the hospitality of Rafael and his family's house is so amazing. The most surprising thing though that I experienced was the use of water at the house, as it's limited during the day and only available at certain times. Sometimes at first I didn't know that. It was about a week in when I finally found out. So I would always make sure my showers are really fast because I don't want to be halfway through and have the water just shut off. But the most surprising thing about the country, the culture of the population, and how there isn't much violence where we are at, it's kind of weird because you walk down the streets and you see in front of every business an armed guard, or you see people walking with like 2-foot-long machetes, but yet there's really, I didn't see any violence whatsoever while I was down here. What was most difficult to experience about the program is for me, it was, in general, it's just the weight of the patients in the emergency department. I've worked in the emergency room before, and we triage patients right away, and we have to assess them quickly to see who needs help first. But down here is people would wait hours just to be helped just because of the lack of resources. So that was really difficult to see personally, because seeing people in pain and having to wait it's really hard. The accommodation was most difficult. Was probably for me not drinking the tap water. Back in the States, it's mandated that there's a certain amount of minerals that could be in it, but it's still good to drink. But down here, it's not like back at home. You want to be careful of catching a disease and getting really sick. And then also, what's most difficult about the accommodation is being so close to such a great family, and then eventually having to say your goodbyes. That's going to be the hardest one today. What's most difficult about the country was the Spanish. I took 3 years back in high school, but that was also 4 years ago, so it kind of, I really didn't retain as much, but being down here kind of brought back the memories and brought back what I learned. And it's just, they speak too fast for me. I have to, if they speak slower, I could understand, but that's not always the case though. For tips on future volunteers in terms of clothing, depending on time of the year, I probably wear thin, non-heavy shirts, shorts, bring a rain jacket just in case, because sometimes it could be the middle of the day and the rain just shows up like out of nowhere. Happened a couple times. In terms of the shirts and shorts, so you had to be careful because there are a lot of mosquitoes, and you had to take that into account. For donations to bring down, I say gloves, alcohol prep pads, money if you have any extra to donate so they could go and buy their needed supplies that maybe we can't because we don't have a license to buy it. Just whatever you could bring, something extra to donate will help a lot, like acetaminophen, ibuprofen, Advil, any antibiotics that you don't have to have a prescription for, and gauze and clamps. Just just such a broad spectrum, but any little bit that you can bring will help. And in terms of the weather for future volunteers, a lot of sunblock, especially if you have a lighter pigmentation of the skin, because you'll get really burnt really fast. Personal experience, but just be prepared to sweat a lot. It's always hot down here, even when it's raining. It's really hot, so just keep that in mind. Some other things that volunteers should know is that just enjoy the culture by living how the Honduras population would. Eat the food of the culture. You come down here and you'll see like Little Caesars or Burger King or Popeyes, some American chain stores, restaurants, but I found it a lot better eating like the actual people down here, like their meals with tortillas and beans. It's really good too. Another tip would be bring a lot of bug spray, especially if you go hiking or going out at night. Right as the sun's about to set, that's when the mosquitoes really get active, and it's just better if you spray down and don't have to deal with things later. Then the last tip I would say is bring first aid supplies just in case something happens. We've had a couple of incidents where like there's minor cuts or abrasions, and due to not having the proper first aid supplies, they got a little bit infected and caused a little bit of a high fever, which isn't good. So just always bring that just in case. So my testimonial about the Abroad Review program is that the program is truly amazing. I've always wanted to help the less fortunate and those that are in poverty, and with my healthcare expertise and being able to do so, honestly, this was the best Christmas present I've ever had, hands down. Already planning on my next trip, this time West Africa, however, but this whole trip guaranteed my passion of what I do. I've always wanted to do Doctors Without Borders, and this is just such a great look into the future for me, and I'm very excited. For my accommodation, meals, and security, everything was perfect, nothing out of the norms. I'm just not used to eating such small quantities of food. Back in the States, I eat large portions of food, which is kind of stereotypical, but yeah, so smaller portions of food, but still amazingly good. Security-wise, not once, like I said, I didn't see any violence. Not once did I feel really threatened. No adrenaline rushes or anything, so that was all right. For my favorite favorite memory of the trip was honestly just being down here and creating a whole new family. It was hard being gone for Christmas because I'm always with my family, and it's a really bonding time of the year, but down here I truly did make another family, and it's just the welcoming factor down here. Like, I know if I ever come back that I'd have a house to stay at and great people to hang around. Favorite memory of this country though is the scenery. You really had to go out and you had to go explore. It's from Pico Bonito, a hike, to such a beautiful waterfall that you could actually stand under, to Cayo Cochino. It's beautiful islands out there. Even the city life is just so active and lively and just truly beautiful. The communication through a broader view was great. I thought everything was great. I had questions and emailed them, and within an hour they'd email back, which was truly amazing. That was really good to see. And then website information, everything was good. The description matched, what we'd be doing matched, but the only thing I'd maybe add a little bit more is just some elaboration of like what extra you can do, and that way it truly captures the whole consensus of this trip. And if any future Abroad Review volunteers that want to come down to laceiba have any questions, I'm here to answer them, and thank you for letting me come on this trip.
Thank you for volunteering with Abroad Review Honduras. Have a safe trip home, and we hope to see you back very soon.